Hello. The days are getting shorter, and the emotional toll of the holidays will soon be upon us. Let's relax for a few minutes together, and I'm going to give you a houseplant tour. I'm Willie. This is the Breslin, and I am excited to get started. I didn't sound that excited, but I promise you, I am. I'm also regretting not doing some substantial dusting before I filmed this video, but like Jenny from the block, I'm real. All right, first things first, I want to show you a few new plans because that sounds exciting, right? But I will warn you, it's only going to go up from here because I'm going to show you the worst one first. So I was at Home Depot a few weeks ago and they had some of these amazing Costa Farms hanging baskets, and this one really caught our attention, and it's called a sweat plant. Now I repotted it into my favorite Divine Dev pot, but no matter how much love and attention I put into this thing, it seems to be on an inevitable decline and about to take its place in the compost bin into its next journey in life or death. I don't know, there's just something about this. It's a very fern-like plant. It's very soft, and it has quite a few of these aerial roots, which you can see here. And yeah, they just don't like my environment. This plant's beautiful. It wasn't very expensive. I really wish it would have survived. Okay, I'm very proud of these next plants. These are the Pink Princess Philodendron cuttings that I made. As you can see, they're getting by quite nicely. They're maturing in the little transplant pots, and they do look a little dull, so I need to dust them off. But yeah, this soil mix has been working really good. I will say that I've had to watch because there has been the tiniest amount of overwatering, so I had to aerate everything to make it a little bit drier. But all in all, if you knew where they came from, which you can totally go on that journey with me in my cutting up my Pink Princess Philodendron video, you will see that they started out with no variegation, and now they have some pretty great pops of pink. This is a Philodendron Lynette. I bought this over the summer, and it is just growing like a weed. And that's what I am always looking for in a plant, is something that I don't have to put that much work into and has a rather high yield of return. Now, I will say it's had a couple of issues, though. Obviously, I haven't been rotating it enough, so this side is a little bit bald, and it caught some spider mites from that dastardly Philodendron gloriosum. So it's been treated, it's doing good. I'd say it's made a full recovery. There are just the slightest little bits of damage on some of the leaves, but all in all, after getting it into triage, I think it's making a full recovery. You guys, I flipping hate spider mites. They're the absolute worst thing on earth that's ever happened to me, ever. Besides bearing some water spots, the succulent coffin is hanging in there. I will tell you that it isn't as lush as it was a few weeks ago, and there are a few sad leaves on the underside that I have been picking off with a tweezer, but I think it's just getting established, and there's a lot of new growth on the top. So after raising a few succulents, such as this one, to a much bigger form factor, I think that's pretty normal. Let me know in the comments if you've had that happen to you and you've had leaves growing on the top, but then also the leaves underneath have kind of languished. I feel like crap in a coffin. It's really my brand, and I'm not going to be abandoning this anytime soon. And this is really a love letter to my 16-year-old gothic self. Now, I have no idea why I am getting up close and personal with this gloriosum, but I want to have not ever gotten it because it's given me unlimited frustration and a lot of emotional pain, and I don't think it's done with that journey yet. It's basically a very sad, angry, and sadistic plant that is trying to systematically break down any optimism I have for plant husbandry. You heard it here first. I mean, some of these new leaves look pretty good. There's a few sticky spots because I've been spraying a lot of Dr. Jack's dead bug on this. I just want to show you the reality. This is like anti-Instagram. This is what happens when you have to use systemic pest control granules, and you have to use Dr. Jack's dead bug, and you have to scrub everything off multiple times a day. And then by the end of it, you're left wondering, what is even the point? But then you think to yourself, this is a living organism, and I spent a lot of money on it. But we do have a new leaf emerging. Yeah, I think this is gonna have to get some remediation soon. I think I'm gonna have to trim all these leaves off, and then I'm gonna have to repot it. This is not my aesthetic. This is like no one's aesthetic. So I guess when I started doing a plant tour in Ketchup, I didn't think it would be such a humorless romp through my psyche, but I'm all about authenticity these days, so I'm gonna keep going. Well, here's one I actually really like, and this is the Philodendron Billeti. We have lots of new leaves since the last time I showed this on camera. This is the latest one, and it is quite large and in charge. Unfortunately, it was on a table near the Gloriosum when it had its peak mite issue, so I did treat this one. I saw like 2 spider mites on it, but it seems to have made a full recovery. I've been seeing these Philodendron Billetis around more, and I'm excited. I was tempted to buy another gigantic one the other day when I was at Greenscapes, but I did not. Also, it needs a good cleaning and a good dusting because it has that Dr. Jack's residue on it. If you use that stuff, I would say once your course of treatment of a couple of applications is over, deep clean your plants with some warm water and a microfiber rag. Monstera to the right of me, which would be maybe your left, is doing really, really good. I ended up putting some new cocoa coir poles, they're not moss poles, in it a few weeks ago, and it's given some more support and some much needed verticality to this plant. I don't know, I still have dreams of this getting really big and like reaching the vaulted part of my ceiling. We're trying some new things out. We're probably gonna get a very tall Christmas tree for the area that it was in, so it's gonna be living on this side of the room for now. I'm just gonna vibe with it and see where it's going. Because there's nothing like quantifying the reality of plants that you got that were much smaller, now becoming very large. And a lot of floor space is kind of hard to come by in my household anyway. So it's definitely making us get more creative. This I'm really proud of because I actually dusted these leaves and they don't look embarrassing at all. And you can see I put that little butterfly gnat catcher. And I must say that, yeah, we haven't had many problems with gnats this year, but maybe it's because I got a jump on it and have actually been pre-treating everything. The last few leaves on this Monstera have come in very, very nicely, very big, but they don't have the fenestrations, which I think is probably because the air circulation or flow isn't as intense in here as it was probably in the greenhouse where this one was grown. But yeah, these lower leaves on this one are just the creme de la. But alas, it's a nice corner. I want to live in that corner. What do you guys think? So this plant is really exciting, to me anyway. I hope it is to you as well. But this is the Epi Pinnatum Variegated Albo. These leaves have just been coming in so good with this very stable half-moon variegation. And I just can't say enough nice things about this plant. Now, I kind of hate that it has to have a moss pole. At the same time, I'm kind of excited about it because I can't wait until it grows into those really big leaves with all of the nice slits in them. They get very large. This thing is giving me Thai constellation vibes. It's giving me everything it needs to. I don't know if you guys have been seeing these out in the wild at plant stores, but I feel like the price is kind of going up. So nothing gets me turned on like a bargain. So I only paid $18.99 for this. So heritage. So the lauded Syngonium still holding in there. This plant has been such a joy because I've had to do like nothing and it's grown in really good. It is greening out just a little bit, but there's still such good pink variegation on the leaves. I'm loving this one. Here, the Cebu Blue Pothos. The leaves just keep emerging bigger with more of the coveted metallic sheen. And I don't know, I really like this little honeycomb trellis. It's still working out. I keep wrapping the longer trailing bits around it, which is going to come back to haunt me eventually. But for right now, I'm living in the bliss of denial that this thing is going to probably take over this whole shelf. Although I will say for the record, it's kind of a slow grower. Well, that was quite a few mouthfuls about my plants. I'm going to show you a few more. And the one that I want to talk a little bit about is my love affair with the Philodendron Micans, because it has the perfect trendy velvet leaves. It trails down but still stays bushy on the top, so it looks like a nice head of hair. And beyond all that, it just looks super fancy and like it's from another time. Like it transcends time. Like we're going back in time to Jurassic Park, but there's no danger and the dinosaurs won't eat you and we're all friends in a utopia. Yeah, it's just sprawling and enjoying itself. Keep knocking things, but I love touching the leaves. This isn't even actually much of a dust collector, I must say. It doesn't get as gross as a lot of my other plants. So another plus, less maintenance. I just give it a little bit of water and let it buck. I kind of want to get like a little rubber snake and put it in there. And then will most likely, when I am waking up in the morning and trying to water my plants, it will scare me and I'll knock everything over, which is the reason I haven't embraced that sarcastic sense of humor, because I feel like I will be the loser in the equation. Being startled isn't that fun. So this one is just like really fresh. This is a Stromanthe Triostar that I picked up like a week ago. And I gave it a good leaf shine cleaning, and I'm waiting on a white pot to replant it. The coolest thing about these is the underside of the leaves are this really intense fuchsia. I'd seen these online a lot, but I'd never seen them in person before I bought this one, and they had some really big examples of this plant, which were obviously a lot more money. So I just got one of the tinier ones, hoping that it would grow in eventually. But let's be real, I don't have that much space because of my proclivity to pick up plants and enjoy their company. So this one is just perfect. It's cute, it's compact, but it has the probability of being a rather large and bushy plant that is still compact enough. I'll keep you guys posted on its progress. Hopefully it stays alive. I heard from my friend Kathy that these can be quite diva plants, so let's hope it doesn't go the way of the sweat plant. R.I.P. There are some of my plants and their progress and their hopes and their dreams. So I think I'm definitely going to be doing a part 2 because there are just so many. So if you are a subscriber to this channel, you may have noticed I haven't been posting as much lately, and that is because I'm having a little bit of creative burnout and trying to figure out cozy themes. Also, on a personal note, I have been having a few struggles with my depression and anxiety. So for me, instead of trying to force things, I've just kind of taken a break, and I'm happy to say that the magic is returning. Well, I hope that you're taking care of yourself and that you're having a great November. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm glad to be back on the horse or in the saddle or whatever vernacular I would like to use to express my gratitude for you watching this video. Okay, bye. That was a lot of smile.